Good evening, OPNS 97.1. Hello, guys. Now, I know y'all are used to our tried, tested, conquered segment being during the day. But one of the things I love about this group, they let me know right off rip. Listen, we want to do this. We parents first. So, we all for the evening, right? So, listen, tag, share, and invite because with me tonight is OPNS's Indie Artist of the Week. Listen, the Agape Music Group. I just love them. Welcome
What's
to
up? What's
Glad to
up?
be here. Thank you.
Listen, I am so excited right now because I've been listening to y'all like, I don't know. We got like 5 awards or 12 something coming. Cause I'm like, okay,
Hey,
Jesus, yes.
hey,
Please.
we'll take
Lit-
it.
Yes.
so definitely congratulations as being our peak because we go through a lot of songs to
Mm.
take and get that one. And I pride myself only on being spirit led. It's like, okay, God, what do we need at this moment in this hour for the people? And it's something about needing God, that water to just flow on me. Rain on Me is one of my favorite songs. I was like, did she say flow like water? I ain't doing right now, but I need your touch. So anyway, welcome to OPNS 97.1. So family, tag, share, and invite because you know that there's always a story. There's always a journey on how we got to where we are, and that's what this is about. We've all been tried, we've all been tested. This show is to show that you know what, you are more than a conqueror. So we just gonna dive right in and just have some fun. So again, welcome. Welcome. Let me see. Sequoia Howard and John Howard the third. Right.
That's it.
That's right.
I had to
So,
put that little curve on
welcome.
there. So you
Yeah.
guys are out of the Metro Atlanta area.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I guess my first question is, how long have you been singing together?
How long? Well, together. So we're going on 9 years of marriage, but we actually met working on music for some mutual friends of ours. We weren't friends at the time, but John was doing production stuff. I was doing some songwriting and background stuff for them.
Okay.
It was a project that had to happen really, really quick. It was a quick turnaround. So
Yeah.
for like 2 weeks, we probably spent 19, 20 hours of the day around
Oh
each
wow.
other, working together to get
Turn
this
it around.
project
Yeah.
out. Yeah, because it was like a 10-song project. And we got that done and just started becoming friends. And we're still working on music for other people and whatnot. So the Agape Music Group, though, we've only been at this for a little over 1 year. We just
Oh wow.
just jumped it off last year,
Yeah.
right before the pandemic.
Right.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. So this
Yeah.
song, my favorite, Flow Like Water, that was in the last year.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
That was
Yeah, we did.
June
That was in June. We did that. We actually
2020.
wrote that one and recorded that one the same week of the George Floyd murder. And just crazy the way that all went. That was at that time, like, that was the most somber, like most broken I had ever seen my husband before.
Oh
And
wow.
this guy isn't a super overly emotional guy. Like, he's in tune with his emotions, but to see him that way, and we were just like, as Christian Black creatives, we felt like we had a responsibility to pin what we felt like the Lord was saying at that particular time, and to pin something that's hopeful, because we knew a bunch of angry songs and a bunch of angry messaging was about to go out as
Yeah.
a result of that.
Yes.
And so we wanted to flip it.
Yeah. And as the Agape Music Group, I mean, the we couldn't just sit there and spew a bunch of hate, and you know what I mean. And so it was a lot of reflection, and it's allowed for the Holy Spirit to really guide us on that particular song because
Yeah.
just from the different perspectives, my wife and Justin and Sherwood helped pen the song exactly how I believe it needed to, and what I believe what God wanted to share during that time. So
Yeah.
and Flow Like Water, it came. It's it's blessing people, and
Yeah.
so yeah, man, it's blessed us, and we're just fortunate and happy and elated for it to be able to do the same for other people.
Yeah.
It is definitely blessing me. I listen to it on the air. Obviously, you're in rotation here at OPNS 97.1. But yeah, I'm like stalking that song. It's already on my phone. You know, it's like I get, who knows? Maybe that's the songwriter in me. Maybe I can connect with the flow. I don't know what it is, but I like what you just said, being spirit led and allowing God to have his way with you guys with that song. So I'm telling you, you got a fan over here. I don't know what we gonna be on together, what show we gonna be booked on together. If I'm booking you for I don't know, but I am definitely a fan. So like you said, you guys met working for other people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, you know, God set y'all up right.
Absolutely.
Oh, no
All
doubt.
day.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt about it.
So we're a family now. We're husband and wife. We have children now.
Yeah.
Three.
How is it being able to balance that? Because see, this is going somewhere. This question is going somewhere. I think a lot of people prematurely give up on their dreams because now the I'm overloaded with the responsibility of being someone's mama, being someone's dad, or having to work a 9 to 5, like you both have shared with me. I cannot believe that. And then you're doing all of this. Wait a minute. My name is Shanta. Yes, I can believe that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yes.
Because it is definitely the story of my life. So how is this going? I mean, you know, balancing kids, you know, we say music ministry. Listen, Jesus is talking. And
Yeah.
then working a 9 to 5. How are you balancing this all?
You know what? So in our premarital counseling, one thing that has always stuck with me is them talking about not necessarily balancing, but prioritizing.
Yeah.
And when we prioritize, and it's God, family, and then everything else flows after that, you know, and we really listen to him. Like we seek after his wisdom and guidance, and like we listen to our kids when our kids are like, hey, we just need our mom and daddy to come play with us. We stop.
Yes.
You know, music, it'll catch back up. The merchandise, it'll catch back up, you know, and we go and play with them. We go and hug on them and love on them. And so we make sure to prioritize.
Yeah. It's not always easy. It's very challenging. But I think that, you know, during this time, God has given us the grace to really do it and pursue it, because, you know, this is a God thing. From day one, when we decided to follow him in this way, and I'm saying, speaking on stepping out there on our own, not, you know, helping others, but us doing it ourselves and pushing it. It was just like, you know,
tremendous amount of grace.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Okay. So one of the things that we rarely see in any industry, in any type of work, is husband and wife being able to hold that thing down together. Because granted, you know, we're going to keep it real, right? There's some days that you don't like each other. There's some days that you have like 5 seconds of, okay, God, I need you to remind me right now. Okay, that's it. Okay, we got the kids now. Okay, so, you know, so there's several different, you know, emotions and roller coasters of just handling life. So how is it that you guys, 9 years, you're working this music ministry? How is that working with each other? Which meaning you're being around each other so much, regardless of what the, you know, load is outside of being together. How is this?
So honestly, it took some hard work, really, for us to get to this place, and God to really do some things in our hearts individually. Yeah. Because, you know, in the past, you know, when we were in dating and courting and all of that, we were still doing music together, and, you know, it was rough. It was rough. It was some, you know, let's take a break from the session because we ain't agreeing. We're not saying eye to eye. I want to put this in the track or the song, and she come in and say, I don't like that. And I'm like, well, but I do. So what we gonna do? You know, type thing. And so, you know, it was a lot of that then, and I had to grow in that area to where both of us were confident and realizing, man, we in this together.
Yeah, we're on the same team.
We're on the same
we're
team.
The same jersey.
We're working towards the same goal. We got different ideas and different creative ways of expressing it. But let's figure out how to make that work. And so, that was a journey getting to that place. And I'm telling you, I can't use that word enough, but it's been a special kind of grace, because those issues and bumping of heads that we had in the past, fast forward 8-9 years in our marriage and so on, that goes beyond music too. But we've been able to manage it together, work together, and really at the end of the day kind of just put it all into perspective and not allow it for it to carry over and be personal and whatnot. So God has really kind of helped us.
Now, preaching, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, people don't understand whether or not it is you working in music, whether you're running a store, whether family business. Key thing being family, and I keep hearing you give homage, pay respect, honor to God, and that is so impressive. Um, and I'm just gonna keep it real. It's not about being biased. It's really the way the world is right now. You hear more so of the woman understanding that I got to be madly in love with God. I got to respect God. I got to understand how this thing is supposed to, go so we can grow, right? But then to hear a man's heart and you guys are on the same page, honey, you need to package that and sell it, because I think that is the key to us getting this thing called life right. You have so many competitive spirits instead of understanding, no, boo, I'm yours, you mine. Can we do this together? Because when you shine, I shine, and I'm just listening to you guys, and it is very inspiring. Because here we grow. Teamwork make the dream work, So love it. Now, we are in a time where social media, being indie artists, doing everything yourself is the way to go. The internet has made that so easy here the last couple of years. And I just have to say, I've been indie since 2003. It was not as easy. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've been with other major labels and just did not like what it took to be with the major label. So God blessed me to start my own entity in 2003. Now I understand the work and the labor and the dedication that it goes into that. Are you guys on your own entity or are you signed with someone else?
Yeah, currently it's us doing it. But again, that grace, because God has connected us to some incredible people that have really kind of helped us to learn some things that you can't just find Googling, on the internet or what have you. On the business side of things, which has been extremely helpful. So we got some forever partners with us, but for the most part, it's us doing everything. We take all those gems they give us, and we take the wisdom and insight that God drops in on us as well. And we do what we can, and then we leave the rest up to Him.
I love it. I love it. So we know what my favorite song is, right? Okay. So
Yes.
what would you say today is your favorite song that you've recorded that really speaks to you?
My favorite one, probably, we just asked each other this question the other day, honestly. But my favorite one would probably be "Closer to You" right now. Between "Closer to You" and "Assurance," those two.
Right.
Closer to you too. I said, okay, I'm back. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean,
No.
the lyrics, that one is a prayer as well, and it's so cool the way God has just intertwined our hearts and our ears. That particular one, I was praying on my way to work, And I just started going like, boom, 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 boom. And like I sent him voice notes probably like all the time. And I sent him that one. And by the time I had gotten home, got dinner done and all of that, I came in the studio and he had that track like, whew, like man. Right. I was like, why you better? You better.
Teamwork making the dream work. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am. Yes, sir. Love it. And it's funny. I'm like that. I'm riding down the road and I'm thinking about something that is not relative to the song, the medley, the beat that God just gave me. And I'm like, okay, where's my phone? It's time to. So I can feel you on that. I feel closer to you. And I was listening to that actually earlier today, and I say, with her singing self, come on with it. That is awesome. So, okay, we are running our own entity, and that's not easy. I don't care what nobody say.
No.
We're running our own entity. We're working for other people's entity, and we're raising a family. When do you find time for you?
So that's the cool thing because we were explaining to someone that our time working on music together, our time working on clothing designs together, all of that, like it's not work for us. Like there really is a form of intimacy for us, because I mean, if you've ever written with somebody, you know what I mean? Like if you've created a body of art with someone, like there's some vulnerability that's there. There's conversation that takes place, and this dude really is like I know it sounds so cliche, but it's my best friend, and so we make it fun all the time. So yeah, that we use that time, but then of course there are times where I'll look up and I'll be like, all right, babe, need a date night outside of the house, please. Outside of the studio, we need to go somewhere. And he'll make it happen. Then we got great friends and great family that steps in to help out when necessary.
That's what's up. So, okay, tried, tested, conquered. I want you to talk to me about a time in you guys' life, and it could be separate or together, that you knew that was a trying time, that just tried everything about what you stand for today.
Yeah. The very first thing that comes to mind is actually a part of my testimony that a lot of people don't know yet. I haven't just had the opportunity to do it, but
sorry, this is getting it exclusive. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, come on.
But New Year's Eve, 2008, I had actually written out my suicide note. I was ready to be done. Like I was in a very isolated place, extremely hopeless place. And I was away from my family. I'm originally from Florida. But I was here in Atlanta, didn't really know a lot of people, had just gotten out of a really terrible relationship. And I ended up, it was the most random thing, but I ain't been to a New Year's Eve service in a really long time. So I'll finish this later. Like I literally stopped mid paragraph of my suicide note and went to church, and a wonderful friend of ours who's actually the friend that we met through ended up praying for me, and she didn't know anything that was going on, and right there it was just something incredible took place. Anytime, if you've anybody listening, if you've ever had an encounter with the Most High, with the Holy Spirit, with God, then it's life changing forever. And I rode the wave and rode in that moment, and God used some amazing people around me, including this guy, to really help love me back to life, and really exhibit that agape love of God, and so that I could still be here. So that's one of those moments where that was the first time that I had really felt literally the love of God wrap his arms like around me and be like, hey, I got you.
And look at you guys.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna cry. That's number one. I'm not gonna cry. Um, but I do get very emotional when you see, when I see God's signature on a thing. You know,
Uh,
um, it's like we can argue, you know what I'm saying? The universe, the energy, we can say whatever we want. But when you see without a shadow of a doubt that God is signature that thing, that is just so moving to my spirit, man. It's like a reminder to let you know, yeah, when you thought it was up, when you thought time was up, when you thought that this was the end, you know what I'm saying? I came and got my stuff back. You my stuff. You know what I'm saying? I came and pulled out of you the greatness that
Yeah.
I put on the inside of you, regardless of who decided to try to leave you broken or mangled or, you know what I'm saying, stressed out. And now here you are. You
yeah.
know, my phrase here at OPNS is here we grow. And that's exactly what I see, you know what I'm saying, you guys doing. So I'm just gonna high five Jesus for just,
Yes.
sneaking that thought in your mental as you were writing your end. Oh my goodness, I felt that
Yeah.
as you
Yeah.
were writing your end. God says,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not what I said.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not what we're doing. So I just thank him for being him.
Yeah.
Um, all right. You got me there, honey. I didn't see that one coming. Okay, Mr. Howard the third. A time when
Uh,
you knew that you were just really being tried.
um, I was sitting here thinking, man, it was probably around the same time, which is what it was a period of depression for me was in 2009. Around the same time, we hadn't met then, Sequoia and I. Just I was unemployed at the time. I was laid off. I was at the time still pursuing a music career or trying to, and just trying to figure out my life, what I was gonna do, with my life, and it was just a very dark. That's probably one of the darkest parts in my life because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and what to do at the time, and you know, I had an encounter with Jesus. He healed me. He just the confidence, allowing for me to see whose I am,
Mm,
and that I truly have a purpose. And, during that same year, that's when I met Sequoia, and I didn't fully know it then, but he was changing my life as a result of that. And just believing that I am loved. I am somebody, and just trusting that he's got me. He's got me, and yeah, man, he brought me out of that situation where I didn't have a job at the time and just trying to figure it out. I was able to find employment, and I found Sequoia as well during that process, and it just everything started to change for me.
sounds like you're saying he didn't find it hard for a crown to give to you.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Yes.
Say
That's
that.
Yeah.
nice. Look at that smile on their face. Okay. So the name of the show, Tried, Tested, Conquered. And a lot of people say, well, my trying time was my tested time too. There is indeed a difference.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Especially when God has delivered you from the trying time, and
Yeah.
then it's like I've conquered that thing. And then
Hmm.
okay, here come that old test. That test
Yes.
that you know what? If I don't make the right decision right now, everything that I've been delivered through, I could lose. Let's talk about that time. What's the
So
first
that
moment of it?
testing period, so John mentioned earlier about some hard work that had to be done in us. And we realized, much later that one of the root issues that we both were dealing with at the time that we didn't know each other in those dark periods where we were dealing in a lot of fear, a ton of insecurity, a ton of a lack of confidence. And over the past 3 years, like our name, the Agape Music Group, really came from our experience over the past, several
Mm-hmm.
years, where we really leaned into the love of God for us and what that actually entails, what that looks like, what that
Yeah.
feels like, what that sounds like, all of that. And so when we first started this journey, one of the things that we were tested with in that confidence and insecurity area was the amount of no's we heard originally, because our sound is a little bit different. We have our own kind of thing going on. And that thing tried to creep up, like, yeah, man, y'all ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? This is trash, kind of thing. And we really had to overcome that test and lean even deeper into what the word of God, what God, the word spoken over us have been concerning our lives. And yeah, we dove head first into the love of God, because it changes everything.
Yeah.
I just go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was just gonna jump right in. I, one of the periods for me being tried was with the whole music thing and pursuing it. I had pursued, the secular industry and producing and whatnot, and I think you mentioned it earlier. I was just like, nah, I don't want what it takes
That's right.
to try to make this happen. That's not my route. That's not my journey. That's not what I want and desire. And ultimately what God desired, that ain't it. It's another way. And so, throughout that time, trying to figure that out, fast forward 2020, we got to the place where Sequoia mentioned it about the hard work God had to do and just really believing, because Sequoia's a praise and worship leader. I'm a drummer as well in our church. And so, just going through that whole thing of just finding that confidence to really step out there as independent artists. And got burned in the industry before, and so several times. And so I was just like, you know what? If this is it, I'm good. I don't want it. And so I was willing to walk away from music. But this is how I knew it was a God thing. People literally started to invest in me, buying me equipment, and I'm like, I'm trying to run away from it. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not doing it. Coming up with every excuse in the world. But I'm telling you, time after time after time again, people were just like, I just want to bless you. God placed it in my heart to bless you with this. And I was like, all right, okay, God. All right. I hear you.
Yeah.
How do you want me to do it? How do you want us to do it? And we're here now.
It's hard to leave me speechless. Hey, I hear you laughing over there because it really is. Uh, but as I'm listening to the both of you, God is just all over you. And that is a beautiful thing in itself. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. And then you took that pain and you allowed it to push you into your purpose, and fulfilling that purpose. Now you're reaching people, you're teaching people, you're speaking to people's hearts, and I don't know, of course, I don't know what God has in store for you. But this get ready for the journey, get ready for the ride. Um, and one of the things that the both of you said, and I just want to sort of agree with you there, uh, it's not industry standard what you're doing. What you're doing is definitely signatured. It has God all over it. And just listening to you say, okay, look, that dude hurt me over there. That joker lied to me. I don't want to do this no more. What? You want me to give you 95%? Look, I ain't got time for all of that. I ain't got time for all of that. And so just listening to you, and in the midst of still that pain, people fail to realize when you're dealing with your gift, that thing that God has blessed you with, that's your baby. That's like something that you
Yeah.
literally labored and pushed into the world. And
Mhm.
people don't realize, you ready to fight, cut somebody in the jungle about your baby. Then
Yeah.
that's gonna make me unsaved. So I got
Yeah,
I totally
exactly.
disconnect from you, you know. But to be able to stick to itness is what it takes, and I'm
Yeah.
listening to you guys, and I don't know you personally. I don't need to know you personally to see my daddy's hands all over you. And
Yeah.
that's that kingdom connection. And I'm just blessed to know you. Uh, it's like I said, it's hard to have me speechless. And you definitely got me because okay, and let's just be real with it. When you think about uh, relationship
Hmm.
and the way relationships are going today, and the fact that you have a higher divorce rate than you do, we gonna stick this thing out rate, and
Hmm.
then you add on top of that, my heart's belief, your heart's belief, we all both believing in Jesus, and we gonna work the kingdom. That is my heart's desire for the world.
Yeah.
For the world, and you have so many broken people find each other, and
Hmm.
instead of continuing to break each other, it's almost like you guys have accepted the fact that you were there to heal each other. And in the process, in this journey of doing what it is that God has called and trusted you to do, you know, um, you don't look like what you've been through. I'm sitting here, Sequoia, and I'm looking at you and I see confidence. I see happy. I see what closer to you. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
right. You
That's
know,
what it is.
and I don't see, I was at a breaking point where I said it was over. I don't see, my heart was so low, my mind was so out of it that I was ready to take the mere give. I don't see that. And I think that this is the epitome of what scripture is trying to teach us. You're not supposed to walk all lonely down and your head all down and you're all depressed. You know what I'm saying? Come on, make a joyful noise. And you guys are doing that.
Thank
You
you.
guys
Thank
are
you.
doing that. So I'm gonna ask a crazy question, and I think I know the answer to. So
Okay.
you're on your own entity. Um, are you taking artists? Or are you basically just doing you?
That's so funny.
Wow.
So we've started working with some other artists and doing some production and like vocal arranging type things.
Yeah.
Not necessarily adding as far as on the label or anything like that, but we thrive off of collaboration. We love working with like-hearted people. I
Okay.
and that's one of the reasons for real why we named it the Agape Music Group,
Yeah.
because we see in the future it being more than just John and I. It's seeing a whole big thing of creatives, in every area, not just music, but so yeah, fashion, design, lighting, videography, all of that stuff. Um, so yeah, but we are starting to work with some folks on the production and songwriting and vocal arranging side.
Yeah, this is being a household name. Um, I know when the
Mm.
Lord God blessed me in
Oh.
2003, I had just left a bad marriage. Whole
Mm-hmm.
time I was married, I did not pick up a pen and piece of paper to write not one lyric.
Oh.
It just was.
Oh.
That's what I mean by it wasn't good for me. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I mean. It's not about it's not about beating up on the individual. The relationship was not good for me.
Mm-hmm.
It did not birth. You know what I'm saying? Things out of me. It didn't pull things out of me. That greatness that God placed on the inside of me. If anything, I pulled away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I now know that was not God's purpose for my life. But it was maybe 8 months after I left the marriage that I released my first indie project on
Wow.
my own label, and I was doing neo soul and jazz, and now here I am touring. Oh God, Brian McKnight, Commodores, Fantasia. It's
Yes.
like, wait a minute, little girl, what was you think? And so it was like, okay, God, okay, wait a minute. But then I too realized that it wasn't just about the music. It wasn't just about singing. It was really about a lifestyle, and that I wanted to be that one-stop shop, and
Yeah.
honey, it's been some
Yeah.
people that have came and has left in these here. Oh Jesus, how long is that? What, 18 years? Oh God, 18 years.
Wow.
It is. I didn't realize that, but yeah, it's been 18 years, and
Wow.
so there's been some people that have came to the table, had my back all in, but it wasn't moving the way they felt like it needed to move, or I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't moving fast enough, and so then I wound up dropping. And it was in
Mm-hmm.
that drop that the enemy, if we ain't careful, will take and start
Absolutely.
whispering that craziness. You know what I'm saying? Like you said earlier, you ain't got nothing to say. Nobody want to hear you. You know, this is
Right.
not going to work. You might as well look here. Can you just go to your 9 to 5 and come home and
Right.
raise these babies?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I believe that God does everything for a reason. And He has me sharing this with you. I don't know where you are personally, but I know that He does not waste time. And we welcomed Him into this space before going live. And what I just keep hearing, Him say is for me to tell you, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're about to go up against that is going to challenge your go. I don't know if it's a personal. I don't know if it's an ego. I don't know if it's a pride thing. But I just hear Lord keep saying, keep going, because you're just chipping the iceberg.
Mm.
And be okay with a lot of the people that were very quick and ready to sow into you. Be okay with the fact that they're not meant to go to the next level. It's okay. It doesn't make you not loyal. It does not make you, I'm such a crybaby because I feel it. I really do. It does not make you not committed. It does not make you not grateful. Committed was the wrong word, because we're committed to God and His works. It doesn't make
Yeah.
you not grateful for what they have done on this journey thus far. But all of our capacities are different. And when you're determined to hold on to someone that has less capacity for what it is that God is trusting you with, you'll find yourself stagnant. And where you're stagnant, you'll find yourself discouraged. And when you're discouraged, you will stop. And so I just hear the Lord keep saying, tell them to just keep going. Keep going. And the more you go, the more you're going to grow. And those things, those desires of your heart that you feel, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I heard t-shirts. I heard a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. Both of you guys are getting ready to walk away from your 9 to 5s. You thought that you was going to have to retire, but that's not it. That's not it. And I just hear the Lord keep saying, keep going. Keep going. A lot of people, when they come on OPNS, they're like, wait, this interview didn't go the way I expected it to go. Well, it's never about me. It's this moment in time is about being able to be somebody else's inspiration, somebody else's motivation, somebody else's example that, you know what, if we can do it, you can too. If we didn't tap out at the first sign of adversity, no, giving up is not an option. Write it somewhere where you got to see it, And I tell my kids, I had this talk. I have a 23-year-old, and I was talking to her today about, my work now. It ain't even about me.
Right.
Scripture tells me that a wise man, a just man, leaves behind a legacy for his family.
Yes.
Just because me and daddy, the physical man, didn't make it, don't mean that I'm not the woman that is supposed to take and birth what it is that God is supposed to care of my family, And so listening at you, you have your children. Come on. Yeah. One of them, don't set yourself for all of them, but one of them is going to want to go fully into what it is that you're doing. So just keep going, woman of God. Keep going, man of God, and understand that the way you love on God ain't got to look like everybody else's. It ain't got to sound like everybody else's. It ain't got to be packaged like everybody else's. Because then that means it's not yours. You know what I'm saying? It's basically a carbon copy of somebody else's labor. And you don't want to do that. Do either one of you play music, an instrument? Either one of you? Okay.
Yeah. John, as you mentioned earlier, he's a drummer. First of all, how you just gonna throw all that and then just move on? Right. So thank you for that. So on time, so on point. Just on time, on point. And I'll move on to your question now. But John is a drummer. I am the daughter of a band director and musician. So I grew up playing trumpet and piano. So in my head, I am a drummer. I got a mean air drum. Like I got mean air drum and a mean beatbox. I'm always around here beatboxing. Right. So is that an instrument? I think it's an instrument.
It's an instrument, girl. It's an
instrument. And John plays keys too. So yeah.
That's funny. Okay. So because I know my I don't play. My instrument is definitely right here. I don't play. And it's amazing. My mother was minister of music. She's a walking band herself.
Wow.
He played drums, guitar, keys, and I'm just like, and you didn't teach us nothing,
None of that.
half of us, what? And so, hey, as a musician, I can tell you what I hear, I can tell you what I want, and I can tell you what I don't want.
Yeah.
But now sit down and play it. Yeah, I'm still asking God to anoint these here fingers.
Yeah.
Because you know what? If we're honest, the hardest thing to find when you're trying to get a sound is the musicians. It was like, well, Jesus, if you just taught me how to play,
Right. Right.
So listen, I am enjoying this. I pray that you guys are too.
Yeah.
You've definitely been a motivation and an inspiration to me because, hey, I'm not married yet. And what I see right now is what I want. I want to be able to know that even if it's just for the hour that we're going to be on this live, that you guys are 100% in sync.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like me casa, su casa. Hey, we're doing this together. Hey, we're growing together. You guys are definitely the example. I really do believe of what God says marriage is supposed to be. Now, when this camera go off, I don't need nobody to throw nothing at nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't need all the crazy. I know I can pick that up. It's too genuine. A lot of people think that because we have accepted the walk and accepted the call that we don't have issues, that we don't have disagreements, that we don't have those moments where I need a whole 24 hours away.
Yeah.
It happens. Doesn't mean I love you any less. It just means I'm really about to lose it. So just can you let me go find it? You know what I'm saying? So I thank you guys for just being who you are.
Thank you. And I promise we won't be throwing that at each other. Like we really do. We love each other. And you know what though? We have really learned how to fight fair.
Yeah.
To fight fair. Yeah. We have learned how each other processes. I am much more of a we got to deal with it right now. Let's talk about it right this moment. And he is I need to sleep on it. And we have learned though because when we were dating, like we broke up like 5 times. We broke up so many times, but we learned. So now when there are disagreements or what have you, he'll say, "Babe, can we talk about this in about an hour?" That's cool. So we've learned, and like even when we're in the studio and we disagree on stuff, I've learned, all right, you on the production thing, I'm gonna leave. Let me know when you're ready to sing, okay? just let me know when you're ready. And the other part is we won't take ourselves too seriously. Like I think sometimes some of the arguments come into play because people automatically are like, well, I'm right, you need to listen to me, blah 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 blah. But like proving points as opposed to, like we mentioned earlier, remembering that we're on the same team, we got the same goal, we're trying to get to the same thing.
Right. Yeah. And then we took a deep dive too into 1 Corinthians 13.
Yeah. Ooh.
Like, we kind of throw that word love around really loosely in comparison to the way God designed it. And what he spelled out clearly in 1 Corinthians 13, the God kind of love, the agape, unconditional kind of love. And when we were able to grab hold of that for ourselves, wrap it around for ourselves, it changed everything in our marriage.
We started checking everything against that scripture.
Yes.
Is what I'm doing right now patient? Am I being kind? Am I being self-seeking, or am I lifting him up?
Yeah.
Am I being boastful?
Easily irritable.
Am I being super irritable right now?
Oh man, when you really break it down line for line, and then start to apply it, man.
Everything.
We got to step it up.
Changes everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So listen. How old are you?
I am. How old do you think we are?
Nope. I asked first.
So I am. I just I'm 36.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And he's
I'm
37.
37.
There's just wisdom beyond your years. And just being able to get it, for real. Get it for real. I remember a long time ago, I asked God, okay, I need you to help me understand the parables of your language. I'm tired of getting caught up and confused and broken and mangled and all this religious teaching.
I know that.
So don't nobody else throw your religion at me, okay? I've had enough of that to last 12 more lifetimes. God, I need a relationship with you. I need you to speak to me in a way that I understand what you're saying. Not what my grandma thought she was saying. Not what my mom was trying to give it. I need you to talk to Shanta, And it was in that period of my life that I became lighter. I stopped caring about what everybody thought. And, I had developed a relationship with him for real. And so listening to the wisdom that you guys are just sharing freely with the OPNS family tonight, I'm looking at you and I know that you're not much older. You know what I'm saying? But I would expect you to be older. And what I want the OPNS family to understand in this moment, right now, in this space, it doesn't take you being 50, 60, 70 years old before you can live this life and live it more abundantly. That's what 1 Corinthians 13 is talking about. If we take and we can love and love for real and love without all of the backbiting, that's what this is about. And so as what you signed up here for, you got something to say? I told you she off camera. So I hear this. So I think it's reaching her. But it's just amazing that you guys are the example that my mid-30s, I got this thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be falling victim to the issues of the world. I don't have to be falling victim to the alcoholism, to the sex and everybody, to the not taking care of my family, not choosing to build this legacy. I don't have to make that choice. And that's what this show is all about. Tried, tested. Well, how did you go through it? You know what I'm saying? How did you go through it? And did you go through it to the point that you've always been the conqueror? You know what I'm saying? Because going through, we all go through.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite saying is this here right hand of fellowship. I want to hit somebody every day. But I have to pray my strength in the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that is not godly. That my name is not Peter. I'm not supposed to be cutting nobody. No, bless this hand to get somewhere and sit down and let me trust you. And so just listening to you guys,
Can I say one other thing too? Let me add this to our parents.
I was just about to say, we got some
dope
parents.
Listen, we had great examples.
The kids are listening. You're here. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, we had great examples of how to do this thing.
His parents have been married for
37. It'll be 38 years this year.
And my parents have been married for, it'll be 37 years for them this year.
So you guys never looked at it as them being old-fashioned? Nobody want to do that. Ain't you
No.
Listen.
But we know that's what, society says and society thinks. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, my parents told me stories about how I wanted to be a family man at the age of 3. I would tell them.
I want to be married.
Married at 3, wanted to be a family man. So it was ingrained in me. I mean, it was just, a part of.
That wasn't my testimony. That was not, because for real, I was not trying to get married till 40. At the earliest. But no, I never thought it was old fashioned. I love the way my dad loves and my mom. They do music together as well. So that was that was perfection to me. So no, I never viewed it as old fashioned.
Oh, yeah, I just have had water in my eyes this whole interview. Because, I was told, I'm a lot like you. I told my grandfather at 8, I think it was 7 or 8, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to marry, be a preacher. I'm going to be a preacher's wife. It wasn't about, the title for me. It was what I saw the man that was in that position exude. You know what I'm saying? And I just knew that got to be Jesus I'm looking at, to love and actually care. And so I knew that as a little girl. Didn't know I was going to become the preacher. Wait, Jesus, what you trying to say? I didn't know that. It was like, where he at,
Right.
but I can definitely relate to knowing what you want at an early age and being told that I needed to get my head out of the clouds. I needed to stop trying to live in that fantasy and come to the real world, go get a 9 to 5 and pay some bills.
Oh
That's your reality. That ain't my
no.
reality.
Yeah.
I believe the scripture when it says, Jesus gave his life so we could live ours and live it more abundantly.
More.
Yeah.
I just don't think he was talking about abundance of hell and abundance of backbiting and
Yeah.
abundance
No.
of fighting and abundance of depression and abundance. We could just go on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep going. Keep going. I need to just, when you write that song, I want to do the hook. Just keep going.
I got you.
Okay.
Keep going. Because at the end of the day, that's what it takes for me to be the conqueror
Yeah.
that I see before me today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Been tried. I've been tested. So when did you realize that you had conquered the thing that was trying to kill you?
When we continued on, when we continued on,
Press
seriously,
through.
when
We
we
just
beyond the insecurity that tried to creep back up, beyond the lack of confidence that tried to creep back up, the way we went even harder because when we initially set out last year, we were like, okay, we'll release one, maybe two songs. That was all we had set out. One, maybe two. And when that thing started trying to creep up, we went even harder. Like when I said earlier, we leaned into the love of God for us. And we ended up releasing what, 7 last year?
yeah.
Yeah.
7, and then just the way that God, his grace is always sufficient. But the way he just, started dropping people into our lives. We got nominated for a bunch of awards. We had no idea
No idea.
there were, all we knew of was Dove, Stellar's, Grammys. We had no idea that there was this whole world, this whole community for independent gospel artists, and we were floored. And so that's how we know, that conquering piece is there. And on top of that, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever happens, we still win. If we're in Christ, we still win. Because if we're conveying the message that loving God, loving people, which is the main commandments, that's right there. If we're doing that, if our children are looking at us and not only are they proud of us, but they're exuding that same love of God that they're experiencing, we win. You know what I'm saying? If our family is whole and saved and loving God and loving people, we win. The music and all of that is a icing on the top for us.
Let me address the music side of it too, and the entity side of it. Like we were intentional about what we viewed success as, and not what the industry or record labels or anybody else says is success.
Yeah.
And so when we started this thing, we wanted to make sure that, hey, listen, if we get to this point, when we get to this point, this is how we know we've done a great job. We've done well. And by maintaining our integrity, operating in the agape love of Christ consistently, and letting it exude through our music and through our fashion, all of it, like the lifestyle you talked about it earlier, just living a lifestyle that is pleasing to God.
That's how we know.
Yeah.
We talk that.
I'm trying to type, think, and listen. So Sequoia, and your child is not named Sequoia. Her name is Sequoia. Okay, I'm back. I was like, wait a minute, that ain't it. It's just close. Sequoia, the young lady that is looking at this right now, that has had the moment in her life where it just seemed to not matter. You know what? I ain't got it this far things keep piling up on me. You know what? This is for the birds. I'm done. Talk to her.
Yo, you are, first of all, you are loved tremendously, enormously, unconditionally, forever loved by an incredible God who knows you, who is concerned about everything that is concerning you. My hope for you right now is that you would truly experience what that love is and what that means for you. Because what that means for you is that regardless of what is happening right now, because we all, life happens, but regardless of what is happening right now, there is always hope because we serve a risen Savior that left us with a tunnel full of bright light hope. And so I would encourage you to continue to foster that relationship with God. If that looks like you reading scripture every day, cool. If that simply looks like you praying every day and your prayer is, God, I need you, great. I would also encourage you to find you some incredible people to be around you. Find you a village, a community of people that's going to love on you, that is going to exude that love of God, um, through you and to you. And yeah, keep going, sis.
Keep going. See, you did what I tell you. There, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
John, to the young man that, he hasn't found his good thing yet. He can't seem to balance it out. He can't seem to just really get the rhythm of what it is that he's supposed to be doing, you know, um, and losing hope. What would you say?
I would say God is able to do um, exceedingly abundantly above anything you can ask, think, imagine. That's what his word says. If you give him a try, allow for him to speak to you, build that relationship. It just takes a simple prayer, nothing deep. Talk to him regularly like you normally do to anybody, a friend or a family member. Like, and watch how he, as as a result of you pursuing him and saying yes, leaning in, allowing for him to love on you, watch how he changes your perspective, watch how he changes your situation, the things you've been believing for, your hope deferred, and
Mm,
becoming hope against hope with Christ. Like it's I mean, yes, it's in the Bible and it sounds deep and mystical, but I'm telling you, he is able to do it. He is able to do it. Trust him. He'll speak to you. Ask him. Let him know you want to hear him. And watch him do it.
you guys have been such a blessing to me tonight. I enjoy all of my interviews. I meet so many different people, so many different perspectives, on life. You guys sort of got to me tonight. And I can say this is the first. I'm sort of like, okay, Jesus, you know, I hear the color purple. God is trying to tell you something. Okay, I take it. Um,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for your transparency. Thank you, because I tell, transparency is how we grow best. Uh, you know, um, and so I'm just grateful. Thank you. You have blessed me on tonight, and I know that we have some listeners and followers on here of the OPNS family that you've blessed them as well. We are getting ready to conclude this interview. OPNS family, if anybody has any questions, you know my thing. Always put it in the feed, and we'll get those answered before we go off here. So now to my right, OPNS family. You will see her very soon. We actually have a new show that is coming to OPNS called Can We Talk For Real? And the host of that show tonight is in the studio with me, actually. And it's amazing how she did not want to be on camera. And I'm not going to put her on blast, but honey, I've heard so many, so I know that you got to her too tonight. Because this is what it's about: kingdom connection, kingdom growth, agape love. That's what it's about. So, you guys, you've been tried separate and together. You've been tested separate and together. But it's amazing how you're conquering it all together. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. So that's that. You are now a permanent family of OPNS 97.1 because we ain't going nowhere. And I did hear say they did 7 songs, but I only got 3. I think I'm hurt.
Don't be hurt. Don't be hurt. I said in the email I didn't want to overwhelm the email.
Listen. Just go ahead and send them on because all 3 of the songs that you did send me, they went in rotation when I heard.
Thank
you so much.
One of them are their own unique. They all have their own unique signature. I'm just excited about what's just about to happen for you guys, because being the example of God is what keeps your cups running over.
Yeah.
And so everything that I see and everything that I've heard say, you know what? Y'all gonna be all right. Y'all gonna be all right.
Thank you.
Get ready. Get ready.
Can I just say thank you so much for having us on, and beyond for having us on, just for what you're doing for independent artists, period. Like, that's major, and we believe for even greater things for you and for OPNS and for even you as an artist. We're so grateful. We never take this this type of gesture for granted, and thank you for the words spoken over us. That we appreciate you.
Nobody but him. OPNS family. This is what it's about: kingdom growth, kingdom connection, and understanding that regardless of how bad I've been tried, regardless of how bad I've been tested, I am more than a conqueror through Jesus Christ, who loved me first, and to be able to look at this beautiful couple tonight. This is what keeping your life in God's hands look like. I have never had an interview where I didn't hear a whole bunch of eyes. Tonight, I heard only by the grace of God. It is because of God. It is because of God. And if we take and get that and get it, as Tobias would say, for real, then this world will be such a better place. Thank you, Agape Music, for being the light tonight. Thank you. Don't you go nowhere. We're gonna chit chat off and backstage. OPNS family, share this. Somebody needs to know that it ain't over. And I felt a song in my spirit then, but I ain't gonna say. I just felt it. Play this day. I felt it ain't over until God says it's over.
Yeah.
It ain't over.
Yeah.
Until God says it's done.
Yeah.
I love you guys. And I'm gonna harass you. I don't know what it's gonna be about.
Hey, we love you.
Just get ready. Get ready. He gets hard. Oh, high five. OPNS family, I love you to life. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Hey, next Wednesday, we introduce a new indie artist of the week, independent artist. Send that music, opns971@gmail.com. opns971@gmail.com. Send your bio, your headshots. Let me get to know you, and let me help the world get to know you. Keep it locked right there, OPNS 97.1. Obviously, you got to get off of this live and go back to the radio station. So we will see you later, hear you later. Here we grow. This was good.